Let's think for a moment about a confused heart. A confused heart, kind of feeling lost and confused in life. A life of purpose that you're trying to find but can't just figure it out. You know, the spiritual metaphysics of A Course in Miracles helps us a great deal to understand and look within ourselves and kind of find purpose when we're not sure what to do with our life. And it's through self-forgiveness, which I'm going to talk about here in this video blog. First of all, let me say that much of the world often will endure periods of feeling lost and confused in life. But I might be upon, myself talking about this because I think back to, well, even when my daughter, for example, upon her graduating college, and perhaps even after landing the job that she first received and didn't know if it was truly what she wanted, but then again went along and kept pursuing and persevering and found what she wanted, and now she's thrilled to death. But how about maybe after even landing that job that you thought you always wanted that still doesn't have you satisfied? Or it might be maybe that broken relationship that you're still trying to recover from and just can't let go of the mistakes that you'd made. Hello, everyone. This is James Nussbaumer, and I'm the author of an ever-developing series of books, and it all starts with The Master of Everything. It's a story of mankind in the world of illusion we call life, and its sequel is called Mastering Your Own Spiritual Freedom, Lessons from A Course in Miracles. Hello. And I'm so excited. The reason I smile like this is because these are the first two books, and the third book, called And Then I Knew My True Abundance, is just now being put on bookstore shelves, and it's getting ready to go right now. And so much of what I talk about is from the metaphysics, the spiritual metaphysics of A Course in Miracles. But let's try to understand a little bit about spiritual metaphysics and what metaphysics really are. A lot of people are frightened and afraid of the word spiritual metaphysics, but there's no reason to be. Let me explain. Some of us are still not sure what to do with life upon, say, even financial success. Many people have got millions and millions of dollars and they're financially set for life, and they still are longing for what they really want to do in life and are still soul browsing for their true calling, I guess you could say. What is your true calling? Do you know, you that are listening to this right now? Sometimes it takes a while to figure it out, as it did for me. It seems regardless of age, I asked myself, what do I want to do? What do I want out of my life? As often as I was getting a different car, I would ask that question over and over. What do I want out of life? It was as though I was up against some kind of adversity where something was pressing against me, not letting me go forward in what I wanted to do. I felt stuck that way. As we discussed in a related video and an article that went to a blog that got very excited over and went, I want to say went viral because I've got so many responses from it. But as I discussed in a related article and video a while ago about overcoming adversity, can be a no-brainer when we just trust in ourselves. But then for me, for those of you that know me, but then after 25 years in a business that I loathed, not loved, I mean loathed, L-O-T-H-E-D, and became stuck in, it wasn't until I was age 50, which by the way is 10 years ago from now. I'm 60 now, believe it or not. I can't hardly believe it, but sometimes I feel it in my bones and joints, but I'm okay and pressing forward. But, I was sentenced to 10 years in prison for a foolish securities violation, and I did finally, and I became confined and was able to overcome a confused heart while I was confined. And of course, I'd done 8 long years of that 10-year prison term, and I've only been home from prison now a little over 2 years. And I've got these books that I've just shown you off the ground. And by the way, they were both, I found a publisher while I was in prison. It was the hardest thing I ever had to do, but it happened. But let me say, when you ask, what do I want to do out of life? What do I want to do in my life? What do I want out of life? When you ask those kind of things, you too perhaps might be the same about a confused heart as I once was, and are struggling over not sure what to do with life. All right, as I calm down and talk to you about this, confusion is something many of us go through. We're humans and we all go through that kind of a thing. I receive Facebook and Twitter messages all the time now, and personal emails all the time from individuals of all ages and of all different areas of the world that are concerned about a life of purpose, doing what they actually want to do, living life on their own terms. And in another previous article, I've talked about the process of writing my books, these books from prison. And you can read about that if you, well, you may already know about that story, but if you search my blog site, which I'll give you that information a little bit later down below in the description box. But, I talk about the process of writing my books from a prison cell. And that was a lot like watching my daughters mature to adulthood, is the way I would see it as I was writing these books. During that painstaking procedure of writing by hand, because there was no computer in that backwoods prison system in the state of Ohio, no computer for, no internet access. Of course, they couldn't have that because inmates would be doing stupid, crazy things. So there was no computer access. And I was feeling lost and confused in life while piecing together the first book here, The Master of Everything. While piecing this together, the first book of the series, I'd hear this inner voice inside me as I was handwriting daily. I was saying to myself, I was thinking, just like my little girls, this book now is just about ready for its next phase. As I was, nearing the end of writing that, because it was just a long journey of writing day in and day out. But it seemed as though I was learning all of those years of life, how to reflect on what I really want in life and what I want to do in this world and make it a reality of my own. I guess it was taking that time for me to make it a reality, because time is of this world. And it takes time to do anything if we just can accept that. So what's your purpose in life? You that are listening to me right now, what is your purpose in life? I'd add as I spoke to readers, it seemed that I would visualize in my head while feeling not sure what to do with my life, that sooner or later the words of that book, of this first book, I would visualize that the words of that book will be in your hands, and now they are, and hopefully helping those who are lost and confused in their own way, as I once was, to overcome that adversity. And again, in this video here, like many of the others, this is why I always urge to learn mindfulness meditation, which you can always find at my blog site. Or perhaps those who are searching but feeling lost and confused in life and not certain what it is that they actually want to discover, that they will find their true free will and a life of purpose, as I have. And that's why I'm so excited. There's an excitement that goes on inside of me because of what's coming forward, which I'm about to explain. Of course, once you're reading and listening, reading my blogs, and maybe perhaps watching this video right now, as you're watching this, I may be, traveling all over the world, and maybe I will run into you one day. But I wonder how. But I would also think then, I was thinking that, as I was writing that I will be traveling, but I would also think, how would I find a publisher? How would I find a publisher who sees it as their purpose to get involved? Well, other individuals, I also thought, as I was writing, would have to get involved who I have not yet met, who will have to arrive into my life, onto the scene, to help me move the process along, so I could get the book into publication form, which here it is I'm showing you. I would be thinking that from that prison cell for 8 years. How would that happen? I'd see that time of feeling lost and confused in life is a natural progression in my own maturity. I would see that just as the many other adults who arrived to play a role in the maturing of my daughters, other people that got involved other than me, their father, other people that got involved in the maturing of my daughters, I would see that the same way as what would have to happen to get this book off the ground and get it going. This entire book series, which led into book 2, that once again I'm so excited over. So overcoming feeling lost and confused can be difficult, but it doesn't have to be. I could honestly and openly tell you that I have been advised by the one, capital O-N-E, the one who knows that I should relax while I proceed for the promotion of these books in this book series. You see, the reason for me making this video right now is this book is great. People that, in the second book, the same. People love it, but not too many people around the world know me yet. They don't know who I am. And that's the reason for this video, is so you will get to know me. So maybe you will go buy my book and learn and uncover your own life purpose and find out how you can overcome that confused heart. I've also been advised by the one within me that knows, who's that inner voice that's told me to also trust that the right people will show up at the right times to assist me with the various procedures of marketing and all that's concerned to get a book moving and to get people to know me. Let's face it, you can have the best book in the world, but if people don't know who you are, then it's just a lost cause. But I'm making sure I'm persevering and pushing through, that it's not going to be a lost cause. And this idea in itself has helped me to get over so much grief, feeling lost and confused in life. I visualize that events are being arranged right now. I did while I was in prison. I visualized that events were being arranged, and I still do now, that events are being arranged, that the very moment, in this very moment as I'm speaking to you, more events are being arranged while I continue with my work. Right now I'm writing on future books that haven't even been published yet, but they're ready. They're ready. It's a long process. But by the way, and this is my point in this whole, it's not about me, this video, it's about you. I'm talking about me and what I had to go through, because I want you to feel that you can do whatever it is that you can do. And by the way, there is no correct or incorrect method for dealing with loss and grief in your life like I had to do. But I'd written another article some time ago that you can find at my blog site that will help you get through that. And to this day, and don't worry about that siren outside my studio right here. They're not coming after me. It's just an ambulance on its way, and hopefully everything's okay there. But and to this day, when I feel confused or have a confused heart, I open my mind to the same oneness within me, the same thought process that's teaching me so much about self-forgiveness. It's like the Course in Miracles states in its many, 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 many metaphysical principles and lessons. Follow the Holy Spirit's teaching in forgiveness then, because forgiveness is his function and he knows how to fulfill it perfectly. In fact, let me say that events are being arranged right now that will give you a reason to seek out this book series or come across it and have it given to you as a gift, possibly. You know, I've already been instructed by my inner divine guide, the Holy Spirit, as A Course in Miracles terms our inner divine guide. I've already been instructed to turn over everything to my teacher and guide, which, as I'd said, the Course in Miracles terms as the universal inspiration, the Holy Spirit. He guarantees that this project will arrive in time when you need it most, and for all others who have already calmly accepted within themselves that they're looking for something more. And I'm hoping that this book falls in their hands at that time, the same way it was with me when I was needing to find inner strength. Let's talk a moment for self-forgiveness before I go. And by the time you are reading the book that I've just shown you, if you haven't already, and if you have, that is great. But if you, by the time you're reading this, I will be, like I had said, already traveling extensively. And I am now, and I'm continuing, and we have a plan ahead that's moving forward. But I hope to see you who are listening to this. It's important that I talk to all individuals everywhere about what I have learned and witnessed along my own spiritual journey, and in my journey through a literal hell on earth, those 8 years in prison. I've got a lot to say about that. Sure, I want to let go of it, but I also got a lot to say about it. I'd like more people to understand, as A Course in Miracles says, and I quote, "The confusion of functions is so typical of the ego that you should be quite familiar with it by now." Yes, we're familiar with why we're confused, but we don't know what it is. It's the ego mind in us that's not real. We just have to let it go. We may easily undo that fearful and doubtful aspect in us all, called ego, by simply self-forgiveness, in which A Course in Miracles defines self-forgiveness is by overlooking the ego and looking beyond it to the light of who you truly are. A Course in Miracles teaches in its many spiritual metaphysical principles and lessons that forgiveness is defined that way. Yes, overlooking what you don't want in life and going beyond it to what you do want in life and bringing that to your life. So for those of you who are already ready, and for those of you who are still kind of glimpsing readiness, still not sure what to do, but you're kind of glimpsing that you know you need to do something. It's a little bit of heaven coming through to you, telling you that here's the light. Grab onto the light. Let go of the darkness. Do what it is you want in life. And remember that self-forgiveness, by overlooking and looking beyond the darkness, self-forgiveness is the key to unlocking the door to your inner depths. And this is when you will overcome feeling lost and confused in life and begin to live a life that encompasses your own true free will. Yes, a life of purpose. If you've enjoyed this rambling on by me right now in this session, it's because I'm so excited, and when I get excited, I ramble. But if you've enjoyed this thought-provoking video, please click and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And if you'd like to subscribe to my Everyday Miracles Mastermind newsletter, the link to my safe website to find out how to join my newsletter is in the description box down below, where you will be led to the written version of this blog. And if you're already at my website and this blog watching this, then you will see links in this blog how to sign up for the Everyday Miracles newsletter. And what the newsletter is all about, like I always say, it's about you, the reader, and I, the author, bringing our minds together for self-success and for a better world. So now, I hope, after all my rambling on, so now I hope that you can be as excited as I am and decide to live in this world by letting go of a confused heart and letting go of feeling lost and confused in life. Here's to you. I wish the best for you and your own natural gifts that you extend to the world and live a life of purpose and a life that you want. Thanks again, and God bless.